Hello, Sebastian here from Twin Peaks. In this video, we'll take a look at how to configure the Sidi footprint for the first time. So first of all, in our chart, we need to add it. Here via indicators, we find the whole thing here under Sidi and then SidiFP-Pack, SidiFootprint. We load this into our chart and confirm the whole thing with OK. As I said, it then takes a very short time for the data to load. Depending on how much data you have in the chart, it can be longer or shorter. But in terms of performance, this footprint indicator can sometimes be up to 7 times faster than comparable products. Now I have loaded my standard template here. The colors are customized for me, and it looks just like you will find it. You can find all the settings for the footprint here at the top of the bar under this yellow FP symbol. A window then opens, and most of these settings can be changed in real time, i.e. colors or on or off, i.e. what information we want to see. 2001, some information has to be recalculated with a reload. We will look at this in the course of the next videos. For now, let's get to know the basic functions here. So let's start with this actual window. We call this the RTS window for real-time settings. You can find this again below, where you can configure this window yourself. We start at the top with the general settings. 2001 general settings. Here we can see the version, and again, the terms of use, i.e., which conditions we have stored here according to. Then how many days should be loaded here in the footprint? How many prices per level? Because you can also aggregate here, meaning you can also combine several price levels into one. This happens here. And we can also set that should be reloaded when reconnecting. A very exciting function is the DST, which means the changeover from summer to winter time. This is then done automatically here. If it is set to auto, switch off, then there is no automatic conversion for summer and winter time, or actually also auto with text on chart. In this case, we even have an integration when the changeover takes place. I now leave the whole thing set to auto. In the second menu item presentation, we then have the option of displaying a label. This is what is meant here at the top of the chart. If we switch it off, the label disappears. Show bar index, also a very exciting function. This allows us to display which bar number we have here. Show NT candlestick bars. It is relatively self-explanatory. If we deactivate this and reload, we can hide the bars because the footprint can generate its own bars. We'll look at that in a moment. Auto control chart scale. This simply means that the sizes are adjusted accordingly. If we scale the whole thing here, the same applies here for auto set bar spacing, because you can see for yourself that the spacing here adjusts dynamically depending on how our scaling is. We can also set the spacing and width of the bars as a numerical value. And we can also set a margin here on the right-hand side, i.e. a distance, how far away the whole thing should be here. The z-axis is the function for how far forward or backward this footprint should be on the chart, i.e. which things should be further up or down. This is what this function is for. Also a very exciting function. Next we have footprint general. Here we can then set the spacing between the individual values. So it's also very, very exciting to visually customize this the way you want it. Whether you have a larger or smaller resolution plays a role here. And you can do this very individually. Then we have the candlestick drawing mode, because we can also create the body ourselves, e.g. bar without wig. Then we can see the area here accordingly. Or we can also make the whole thing bar and rig. Then we actually see the whole generated directly from the foot point, and could even hide the Ninjatrader bars if we want to, or even display them in different colors, that we might work in black and white and then colorize the actual area again. This is what the whole thing is intended for, or to really display it as a full range. There are also reasons for wanting to do it this way. I'll leave this here and close the whole thing again. Then let's go back to the bottom, because there are also a few general settings here, such as the real-time settings. This concerns exactly this settings window. And here we can see that we can adjust the button at the top here in terms of color and also in one position. left and right. We can also say here where this window should be opened. Manual simply means that it opens where we are at the moment. Center screen, center owner or click point, i.e. where we have clicked. You can then open this window. Otherwise, you can also set it to remember this position. This means, for example, if I move the window to the center here, then close it here with OK, and open the window again, that the whole thing then opens again. Opens again at the same position. This is always the case until I reload the chart. Then we have another very exciting function. Category expand mode. This simply means how all these categories should be displayed here. I set the whole thing to auto, then it remembers exactly this arrangement as I have it now. So I have closed everything here. And only the real-time settings are open. USAN. Confirm here with OK, and open it again. Then I only have this open again at the bottom. If I set the whole thing here to collapsed, confirm here with OK, and open it again, then everything is closed. And if I set the whole thing here to expanded, then everything would be expanded after opening here. I deliberately don't do that now because I would have to close everything again manually or scroll all the way down. Otherwise, I have the option autosave settings when close window. This simply means that when I click OK here, the whole thing is saved here automatically. This is very useful for some functions. If you try out a lot here and don't always want to click save, otherwise I have the complete color setting for this window. From background to button color, I can set everything here. Otherwise, I still have the licensing down here. Here I simply see some information about our developer Sidi and about us as a distributor, and also the website to register the license here. Debug is irrelevant for most use cases, only if there is a problem, and we ask you to do so in support. You can make settings here and send us the corresponding log files. There is an extra send log button for this log, so if we ask you in support to send us the log, you can do so via this button. These are the general settings for now. In the next video, we will start with the actual profile settings up here. See you soon.